What's up, everybody? And today we are talking my top five East Coast rappers of all time. Let's go.
Gotta live for today and forget about the past. Fighting with yourself, fighting with your life.
What's up, everybody? And I am back. We are talking more hip hop. My five favorite rappers of all time from the East Coast. A couple weeks ago, I did a Bay Area version where it was E40, Spice One, Mr. Fab, Too Short, Mac Dre. Now it is my five favorite East Coast rappers. So not just New York, East Coast. I had to put a little swing on it. And as you see the shirt, I have Nasty Nas, Big L, Ghostface, Black Thought, and Jay-Z. So we're going to get into a little discussion about why these are my top five. Please like, please comment, please subscribe to the channel if you like all things beer and hip hop. Best combination ever. And comment too about your favorite five East Coast rappers. So fresh off the bat, just like I didn't in my Bay Area, you don't see a Biggie, you don't see a Rakim, you don't see a G-Rap, KRS One, L Cool J, the people, the pioneers in the 80s. Like I said, the Rakims, KRS One, Cool G. I think those are in everybody's fives, just like Nas and Jay-Z are in a lot of people's fives. But Nas is my favorite rapper, and I just feel you have to include Jay-Z because of what he is now, what he was in '96. So, and we'll get there, but just I don't have Biggie in there. I put Big L over Biggie, so we'll get there. Big L. I feel Big L is not. I looked at this list as not like the best rappers of all time, not the best catalogs of all time, but if I went to a deserted island, who would I want to take their catalog with? Like whose catalog, whether it's albums, features, freestyles, mixtapes, whatever. I take all that music and I take it with me. And I feel that Big L, even though Biggie has Ready to Die, Biggie has Life After Death, Big L has, the Lifestyles of the Poor and Dangerous before he passed. He had the album after he passed that was put together with Ebonics. I feel Big L, one of the things when I was rhyming was all those mixtapes, all those freestyles that he was doing, all the rewind button time, all the times I pushed the rewind button on him. The Big L and Jay-Z freestyle, where in my opinion he killed Jay-Z, even though I don't know if they're competing, but he killed him on that freestyle. And I feel that Big L is so ahead of his time. I feel that his punchlines and his wordplay and his lyricism, I feel has been probably more influential than Biggie's rhyme style. I feel there's a lot of rappers, whether it be battle rappers, whether it be rappers like Eminem that says stuff for shock value. I mean, Big L is doing that with Devil's Son. And from Devil's Son to Ebonics to just everything that he was doing. And I think out of all the MCs, that one hurts the most as far as what they did not do. I think Biggie accomplished a lot in a short period of time. So did Tupac, even Big Pun. Big L was the ultimate what if. At the same time, you could hear that he was great. And you can't name those rappers during that time and say Big L's not messing with him. I just think he has some of the best bars, rewind capability than anybody ever. And I think a lot of people got their style from him, influence as far as just like I said, the shock value, the punchlines, the wordplay, the lyricism. I think Big L gave birth to people like a Lloyd Banks, a Fabulous, the rappers that were doing the heavy freestyles and on over other people's beats. And that's my opinion. I might be wrong, but you hear a lot of that in him. Then a lot of battle rappers that were on URL, like a lot of stuff they say, the crazy disrespectful stuff, that was Big L. So I feel that Big L is one of my top five favorite rappers ever, actually. Like, probably my 10 for sure, but East Coast for sure. So Big L, most definitely. Then we're going to talk about Nas, Nasty Nas. He just dropped King's Disease, and he's still putting out great music. But from Illmatic, it was written, I Am, Stillmatic, Godson, Life is Good, his features, his whole style, his look, everything. I think one of the illest, this top 5 MCs ever. My favorite MC ever. I think he's influential. He's one of the most lyrical. His catalog speaks for itself. I think there's some what ifs there. I think more people wanted him to produce more albums like Illmatic, and it's not to say he couldn't, and I think he could. I think he could have produced songs with Primo and Pete Rock, and I think and Q-Tip, and I think that would have been too easy for him. And I think he wanted a challenge. And looking back at his career, I think he wanted a challenge, and I think he didn't want to do what everybody else expected him to do. And so, I think like I said, his whole style, just everything about him, his rhymes, his look, everything. It was one of the most smoothest, coolest MCs ever. And during a time when you had Pac and Big, and he was reigning supreme right there with him. And when It Was Written came out, and he had If I Rule the World, that was on the radio every day. I was like 11, 12 years old. That song was on the radio every day. And The Message, and that was his, and then I Am, Hate Me Now, and then he went back to Primo to do, Nas's Like. He had his, I would love to see him in the verses, but I think, that's just not for him. But I think just one of the illest MCs ever, and I can't say enough about him. He's just ill, illmatic, beermatic. Yeah, he's just ill, can't say enough about him. So let's move on to the next MC on the list. This is Ghostface Killah. Now You See Me, Now You Don't. Mr. Ghostface, best member in the Wu-Tang, I believe, hands down. GZA has Liquid Swords, and so he has one of the best albums. Raekwon has Only Built for Cuban Links, so he has one of the best albums. Method Man has, the Method Man, but Ghostface has been the most consistent, the dopest storyteller, the dopest slang. I think the best actual lyricist. If you look at all his albums, he's progressed, because he was kind of rough and tough on Enter the 36. But if you look at Iron Man, just go back and listen to Iron Man, Ghost's debut album. Just the stuff he was saying on that album, and the wordplay, and the lyricism, and the bars, and just nobody rhymes like Ghostface. Another MC whose style is just, his style precedes him. And you look at Supreme Clientele, when the Wu, people thought the Wu, they had put out, I believe, the third album, and the W, and I might be wrong, but I think they put out the W. And there's a couple solos that was kind of from the Wu. He was the one that was holding the belt, with Fish Scale, and just Ghost is one of my top 5 favorite rappers ever. MC's not just East Coast, and so you'll see this list very, there's a couple West Coast rappers who are on my top 5 list, but then, Nas and Ghost are actually on my top 5 favorite rappers also. And just, because Wu-Tang is my favorite group, ever, you see the tattoo right there, and they're my favorite group ever. Ghost is the illest. Ghost is the illest in the illest group of all time, and so you got to give him his props. He's still killing, and with different type of projects and underground projects, he's just ill. The voice is one of the illest voices of all time. His storytelling is one of the illest of all time. His slang, just his whole style, how he comes across. Like, he comes across as a smooth gangster. Like, you don't want to mess with him, but at the same time, he's talking smooth too. So, just one of the illest ever. Next MC, we'll end it with somebody black. But Jay, you know, when he first dropped, and I was a big Nas Wu-Tang fan, I wasn't. Reasonable Doubt, I think I liked later in life, because I was so underground backpack MC'd out, that I refused to give him his credit. And of course, as I matured and got older, I just realized, like, I think he's, if you can say the greatest MCs of all time, not having no bias, not having nothing, it's Jay. It's Jay. And I think you got to give him his props from Reasonable Doubt, Blueprint. 444 is a modern day classic. I feel In My Lifetime Volume 1 is a classic. I think just the Black Album is a classic. Like, even the Dynasties we bumped down on the West Coast. Rick Rock was on that heavy, so we bumped that heavy. And his influence, his business, everything about Jay. If you don't have him in your top 5, at least East Coast rappers, you're crazy. I think his lyrics are sometimes underrated. He kind of gets slept on about what he says, but if you really listen to him and sit back, a lot of his albums feel like movies. And he paints pictures very well. He's very vivid. I don't think he's pound for pound lyrical like you would say a Big L or a Nas or a Big Pun, you know, or even a Biggie, who can bar you to death. But I think his consistency in his rhymes and his content is what puts him over the line for me as one of the dopest. So Jay, salute you. You're one of the greatest, man. And my last is, I think a lot of people's modern day, if you talk about who's the best right now, there's Royce. Black Thought is, and he's gotten better. He's like fine wine, gotten better with age. Black Thought from the days when he was with the Roots, and Philadelphia Half-Life. Go listen to that. Go listen to just go listen. My man was Big Daddy Kane and Coogee rap on a song, y'all. Like, he was Big Daddy Kane and Coogee rapping himself. He sounded just like his rhyme style. I can listen to him rhyme for days, and I think if you put him in a circle against all these MCs I named, he might come out the victor. I think he's ultra lyrical, like ultra lyrical. At the same time, drops gems, and not sounding preachy. And he's still a little street with it. He's from Philadelphia. That's why I have to include East Coast, because it was going to be my top 5 New York rappers. But I said, you know what? Let me include this, because I'm not going to have a top 5 Philly rappers, even though a lot of Philly rappers are dope. Let me give Black Thought his flowers. He's one of the illest out, and I'm waiting on that album. And when he delivers that, I will be reviewing that ASAP. But yeah, man, his Funk Flex freestyle. If you didn't know, when you listen to that, you walked away like, ooh, he is nice. And I think a lot of people feel that way about Black Thought. So the catalog with the Roots is dope. His last solo projects, I think, spelled it out and let even more people know he's one of the illest ever. Black Thought. So there you have it. Those are my top 5. Let me know your top 5. Nas, Jay, Big L, Ghostface, Black Thought. That's my 5. That's who I'm rolling with. That's who I'm playing if I had to play 5 East Coast rappers for the rest of my life. So until next time, you guys take care. Please like, comment, subscribe to the channel. This is Beermatic. I'm out. 100.